Come on, 49er faithful, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick done quick.
49er mind.
Yeah, yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.
Oh yeah, freak out, yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope, and this is Macho Man, #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future, yeah, and I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar, yeah, the cream of the crop, dig it?
Ooh, yeah, Macho Madness. What's up, everybody? This is Bashar. Welcome to 49er Minded. 49ers won. We beat Philly. I am happy about that, but we'll definitely talk this out. And to help me out in this is a past guest of mine, a very good friend of mine from the days of Candlestick, season ticket holder. He's another YouTuber. Subscribe to his channel. It is 49erTone. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on, my brother?
Not much, man. Just another Sunday, another 49er victory, 2-0. Let me just say what's up to some people in the chat before we get started with this. We got an Eagles fan. He's a YouTuber. Big Play Slay. What's up, man? He says congrats on the victory. He's a good dude, man. Subscribe to his channel. We got Amin the Dream. Says we're 2-0. We got Horace, my brother living in the Middle East. Really good 49er fan.
Wow.
Faithful. It says let's go 2-0. We got Jay Mango. Says it's 49er Minded. Yeah, he loves my theme song. He's always mimicking my theme song, that guy, man. Subscribe to his channel. He's big on trading cards, and he opens up his little football cards and packs live on his channel. So, yeah, man. So, we go into Philly. We haven't won in there since, 2011? We're talking the Harbaugh era when Justin Smith punched the ball loose.
Yeah.
And every time we go there, I'm, like, scared, you know?
Yeah, that was a great comeback. I actually watched that game earlier in the week just to revisit, and yeah, that was one hell of a comeback in 2011. But look, man, 49ers are 2-0. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And the 49ers definitely finished today. I'm so excited. Anytime you can go 2-0 to start the season, the W is a W in the National Football League. And we start off with 2 road games, just like in 2019. And we came out on top 2-0, looking on to Green Bay next week. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's always tough to play in Philly. It's a hostile environment there. Their crowd is never quiet. Like today, their crowd was completely into it, and my nerves were up, man. I was pretty nervous the whole game. It was very rare. I actually had a smile during the game, even though we won. I mean, Jimmy played really well in Detroit. There were times this game where he was at point, especially the beginning. I was kind of worried. I was kind of reminding me of the Jimmy from last season, where he was kind of had that scared look on his face, so to speak, and it worried me a bit. And then there were times where the throws were late. He missed Sanu pretty high on some third down, and I thought things were looking pretty bad at one point. But hey, we were able to run the ball pretty well at one point. Elijah Mitchell is stepping up big as a rookie with Mostert being gone. We need somebody to pick up the slack, and he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, with Jimmy, I mean, the entire offense wasn't just Jimmy. The entire offense was out of sync, and Jimmy was a big part of that with the erratic throws. I mean, just missing wide open receivers. The offensive line was getting dominated by the Eagles' defensive line early on. He didn't have enough time. And when he did have time, he was off target. Just everything was just out of sync. It was one of the most shakiest starts that I can remember in a long time. I mean, starting off with three and outs, didn't get a first down to the second quarter. That hasn't happened in the Shanahan era. But that all ended with a 97-yard drive. That all ended to end the first half. And, you got to say, Jimmy, for the most part, played well, but he didn't look good in early on. And a lot of people was calling for Trey early, on Twitter and everything. I was saying, it's like, just let Jimmy get in the rhythm, get him to Debo, get it to Kittle, and they'll start opening up the run game with Mitchell. And that's what you started seeing, and the offense started clicking. So I am happy about that.
Yeah, I just pulled up the stat line right now. It said Elijah Mitchell, 17 carries for 42 yards, 2.5 yards per carry. So it's like sometimes when you watch the game, I didn't realize his stat line was going to be that bad. There were a lot of plays where Philly was anticipating the run, and they knew we were going to run it. And their D line is always stout. Their D line is a menace. I mean, freaking Fletcher Cox and all those. Boy, we were fortunate that Brandon Graham got injured, by the way.
Yeah.
And he plays on McGlinchey's side. So at times the O line looked pretty good. At times they were a bit shaky. But hey, against this top D line, I'm okay with that. Who I thought looked pretty good. When the situation was called upon on short yardage type plays or QB sneaks, was Alex Mack. That was a guy I wanted the 49ers to draft coming out of Cal. The local guy, and now he's finally a 49er. And, he's up there in age. He's not the same guy he was, during his probably all Pro Bowl type seasons. But nonetheless, he's a better center than we've had in the past. And you can definitely tell that he's proving his worth out there. And on top of that, he's a leader, too, among the boys on the O-line. So.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, look, Jimmy was 4 for 4 on quarterback sneaks. I mean, Alex Mack played a big role with the offensive line and making that turn against the Eagles D line. I mean, he really did, because we were getting dominated up front early on in the game. I mean, it just seemed like we couldn't move the ball. I don't want to say we were playing scared or anything like that, but it just seemed like we just couldn't attack them at all, and props to the Eagles, man. I mean, if I was the Eagles fan, like I said in my video, which I'm uploading right now, props to the Eagles. If I was the Eagles fan, I would be very happy and excited about the direction of this franchise, because the way they were playing, man, they were balling out. But the 49ers weathered the storm, and it's all thanks to our defense, and they gave our offense a chance, man. So, Alex Mack, I'm so happy we got him. I really am, because we haven't had a center play like that in a few years. Seriously.
And it's rare that the offensive line gets any praise, and even if it's a very good offensive line, a great offensive line, it's not the sexy position. It's not who people talk about. Now, I played on the O-line in high school, so I might notice these things a little bit more than the average Joe. I know you notice those things without a doubt. You're just a huge football connoisseur. I was going to mention. Oh, let me mention this: the special teams, man. 3 phases of the game. We blocked a field goal with Kinlaw. How often have you seen that in a 49er game? Mitch Wishnowsky is really proving himself right now.
He's starting to look like Andy Lee back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, when we drafted him, they kept saying he's this big, strong, athletic punter, and he ran at 4.6 40. And you hear all the hype about him when we drafted him. He was some tough rugby player, but I wanted to see him produce at the end of the day, and now he's looking pretty good, man. And if we could, that always helps your defense so much to have those big crushing punts. I mean, I don't want to be like, people are like, oh, punters aren't football players or kickers aren't football players, but hey, man, with special teams is really important, and we lacked in special teams a lot last season. And you mentioned that drive though earlier. That what was it? We had the ball for almost 9 minutes.
Yeah, yes.
That was the crushing blow to the Philadelphia Eagles, I think. Even though it got close towards the end, that ball control and the fact that we put up a TD helped a whole lot. Juwan Jennings' first NFL touchdown. Nice pass from Jimmy on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was the backbreaker, because the momentum started to change the way the first half ended. And that 9-minute drive, man, going another 90 plus yards. I mean, that was a backbreaker, and that momentum definitely shifted. And that's what you want to see. Like I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And that's finishing football games.
Without a doubt. Let me say what's up to a good buddy of mine. He had me as a guest on his show all the way in the state of New York. 49ers First Takes. Aaron says, stop it in and say what's up. We survived the tough dogfight. 2-0, baby. Oh, yeah, injury still an issue. And a shaky Jimmy made an appearance through, though he played solid overall. Yeah, there were some shaky moments, without a doubt. Honestly, there were moments where I was thinking, when are they going to bring Lance in? Because you can have that steady dink and dunk stuff, and it can be effective to a certain extent. But there are times when if we're not launching the ball downfield, or if they know we're going to run, them knowing that we're going to run. If you have Trey Lance in there, in my opinion, that just helps open up the run game because they got to account for one more guy. It's going to be 11 on 11. And I was kind of hoping to see Trey Lance out in there in some way or shape or form. Not the way we had him out against Detroit. I mean, they had that one touchdown for it, but not having him run a freaking design QB run on 3rd and 22. Nothing retarded like that. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. The thing is, here this is the deal. We got Kittle. We got Debo. Debo is the only guy who's really been getting a lot of work these past 2 games, and Debo's looking excellent. I love what I see in Debo. He's just so tough. Got tough, strong hands. Sherfield, we didn't see too much. Kittle, so it's like, and Ayuk. I've been wanting to see Ayuk break out and have a good game, and he's, in my opinion, he's too talented to not get the ball downfield.
Yeah. No, I've been calling for Ayuk, and I mean, I don't understand what's going on with that. Why is he not getting targeted the way I think he should be? But Debo has stepped up in the absence of that. Like, the talks before going into the year was, Debo is a hell of a player, but Ayuk looks like he's going to be that number one guy. And turns out so far right now, I don't know what's going on with Ayuk, but Debo right now is solidified as the true number one, and he's playing like it. Hell of a game for him.
Yeah, oh yeah, without a doubt. Ayuk did have one nice catch where he stretched out and you saw those long
Oh,
arms, and I love it. I got so hyped when I saw it. It's like, okay, cool. This reminds me so much of Ayuk last year. Please
yes.
give him
He
the ball
bailed
more. Maybe next week.
he bailed Jimmy out on that throw, and
Hmm.
that's what you're supposed to do. That's what good receivers do in the NFL. Not every throw is going to be perfect. Tom Brady doesn't make every throw perfect, but you have the
Hmm.
receivers to make your quarterback look good, and you help your receivers out. That's what an NFL receiver should do, and that was a hell of a catch. So he bailed Jimmy out on that one, and that was a big. I mean, was that for a first down? I forget. Was that for a first down?
I believe it was. But it was a
Yeah,
third down and he got a
yeah.
first down on it.
That was a big play to extend the drive. So
Let me say what's up to Ryan Belial. I've had him as a guest on my channel a few times. Really good dude over in the state of Washington. Says what up. Um, Yeah, so I mean, the reason why I was bringing up the whole thing where I thought maybe I was hoping Trey Lance would be in there because there were times where Trey Lance was not Trey Lance, but Jalen Hurts was scaring me. Like he get like 3 or 4 seconds to throw, and there were times where we couldn't get pressure. And here's Jalen Hurts, and he's got a rocket of an arm, that guy, and he had some pretty good deep ball accuracy on those plays too. But he knows that we don't have Jason Verrett. He knows we don't have Mosley, our starting quarterback corners. We got a rookie who people don't know much about, Deommodore Lenoir. Is it Josh Norman who was out there? I don't know if
yeah,
Drake Kirkpatrick even played, but this guy Jalen Hurts is just, my nerves were just going through the roof every time Jalen Hurts would launch that deep air out that deep ball, and then boom, the accuracy would be there anyways, but our DBs were just stepping up.
yeah,
Minus one play where we got burnt really really bad on
yeah,
that 90-yard pass or something.
yeah,
Other than that, man, other than that,
yeah. That was
yeah.
no, that was on Lenore, and Lenore played a hell of a game. Besides that play, he played a hell of a game for a rookie to do what he did today. I'm so excited to see him. Norman, I thought he played well. I mean, he had those two pass interference. I thought, especially that second one, was very very iffy. Like, that was very iffy. But for someone just coming in on short notice like that, he played well. I mean, he played much better than what Dante Johnson would have played, right? you know,
That's
but
funny.
but the defense. I'm sorry, bro, but the defense, man. You talked about our pass rush. You talked about the defensive line. You know, I seen where we were rushing 4 and then we were rush 5, and it just seemed like Hurts was getting just a ton of time in the pocket. That is a concern. But the secondary and the linebackers, man, they really helped out the front 4. today, and that was very encouraging to see with our defense. It really was encouraging because we made plays when our defense needed to make plays. I mean, in clutch moments. When Ronnie Lott used to say the bank is closed, the bank was closed. They had 3 points, and they could have had a lot more, especially in that first half. They only had 3 points heading into that fourth quarter. So, the defense showed up, man, and I got to give Ryans a lot of props to get this defense on board, man. Really, that was very encouraging to see.
Without a doubt, the point I was trying to make about Jalen Hurts launching those deep balls, like how he was striking fear in our heart with that deep ball threat. I wanted us to do the same to them, especially that we have all these weapons, but we weren't doing that. But yeah, I mean, was that the second pass interference that Josh Norman looked like he made an excellent play and the freaking refs threw a flag? That pissed me off, man. I was like, good job, Josh Norman. You've barely been with the team. Here you go. People are doubting you, saying you're the old guy, and you're looking like you fit right in and you belong, man. Let me see what's up to a couple people here really quick. We got local 49ers fan, big supporter of the channel, says Josh Norman played really physical today. I agree. We got Joey Mahoney here. Is bad about the Seahawks score. Nobody likes it with the Seahawks score.
No.
We got Bang Bang Pinor Gang. Pinor says it's 49er minded. These guys like my theme song for some reason. I don't know. If you guys, after my theme song, we had a guest appearance by the Macho Man. If you guys missed that, you got to rewind it. You caught that, right, Tone?
Yeah, that was a great intro. That had me rolling. That had me rolling.
Yeah, he's the best Macho Man impersonator I ever seen, and I had to hit that dude up to do an intro for me. What's Pinor saying here? He said the team was so lucky today. Sanu's PI helped. I don't know, is it PI or I don't know, play? I'm not sure what he means by that. Debo saving that pass from being an interception, and then hasty unnecessary roughness helped. Sermon unnecessary roughness helped. There were, I mean, sometimes in football there's these other factors that play within the game, and as a 49er fan in recent years, I always felt like they don't go our way. Things like that don't go our way. For whatever reason, things went our way. There was a time, who was it that fumbled? Was it Hasty that fumbled? And then I know it was a Kittle that fumbled, and then Alex Mack. No, actually, it wasn't really a fumble. It looked like Kittle fumbled, and Alex Mack dove on it right away on that play. But great awareness by him, anyways. If it was a fumble, he would have saved it without a doubt.
And that's one of the things. I mean, it's the NFL. You're going to get plays that, you lucked out. Like, we got lucky in certain situations today, but you can break down that in any NFL game. I mean, you have to take advantages of those situations, and the Niners did. Look, we're 2-0. I'm not going to be a negative Nancy on here. Like, we're 2-0 in 2 road games. I mean, I can't be more ecstatic right now with the direction of this franchise. So, 2-0. I mean, it is what it is.
And I was thinking we might lose this game going into the game, so I'm definitely happy we won. I mean, I know not that because I think Philly is like the greatest team on planet Earth, but I just know it's hard to win in Philly regardless. And and they look good. They look good week 1. They look good against the Falcons. We saw Jalen Hurts running around making plays.
Like I was saying, if I was an Eagles fan, I would be very happy and excited with the direction of the franchise. I mean, they were balling out. Their defensive line was putting the pressure on our offense. I mean, they really dictated what our offense was going to do, and they stopped the run early on in this game. And it was up to the offense to have the pass set up the run. And that's what you started seeing in those 90-plus yard drives. But if I'm an Eagles fan, I'll be very happy. I mean, this was a tough battle. I mean, this was an old school type of game. If you love physicality, if you love that tough defensive minded type of football, this was the game for you. And that's what we had to endure. And like you said earlier, I mean, plays like this usually don't go our way. Games like this usually don't go our way. So I'm happy we came out on top, man. It is not easy to win in the NFL, let alone to win 2 games on the road in the NFL to start this year. I mean, I'm happy, man.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm going to add to that in just a second. J Mouse says, "What's up?" in the chat. We got Kenny. I think this is the Kenny I know. If it is the Kenny I know, what's up, man? I'm glad to finally see you on here. If you're a different Kenny, that's cool, man. Welcome to the channel. Kenny says their D line was bringing pressure like crazy, and yes, our defense kept us ahead. They totally killed our run game. I was gonna say going into the game, I was really freaked out by this beast of a tackle that the Philadelphia Eagles drafted. I believe he's a rugby player. Was Jordan Mailata.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Huge Polynesian guy, 6'8", 350, and he can move. And then when they showed his clips as a rugby player, and I was like, dude, this guy's too damn fast for a guy his size. If he learns how to play football, it's going to be scary. And lo and behold, I mean, Brian Baldinger was showing his clips on Baldy's breakdowns, and this guy is like so advanced for. He steps on the field as if he's been playing football his life, and you don't learn things like that so quick. But to make a long story short, he looked really good week one. And I was worried for Bosa because Bosa's not a big guy. He may be got those big guns, but he's just not a big, huge guy. And at one point, Bosa got a sack, and on that sack, he bulldozed Jordan Mailata. I was like, okay, Bosa, that's what's up, man. Let's do this, man. And I was inspiring to see, man, without a doubt.
Now, did Bosa get 2 sacks? I thought he got 2 sacks.
He might have. Well, Joey Mahoney in the chat might know. He's the biggest Bosa fan I know. Oh, so Kenny says it is me. I was right. Okay, what's up, Cam? So glad you're here, man. We got Nighthawk. What's up, Nighthawk? He be a legend in these YouTube streets. And good to see you on here, man. Yeah, we got a whole cast of characters in the chat. Really appreciate all you guys being here. Yeah, playing Philly always has a tough D line, tough offensive line, and it's just like if you beat Philly, you better be strong in the trenches. And I was worried about our trenches a bit, but we got a strong D line and pretty good offensive line as well. The offensive line looks way better to me than it did last year. Have we played this same Philly D line? Well, we did play them last year actually, and it wasn't pretty.
In a game we should have won. But with the Eagles, they have a bunch of new starters, just like we got our starters for the most part in this game. So it is definitely a different football game than last year. But yeah, no, that was a game we should have won last year. Nick Mullins, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember Nick Mullins threw a pick six right to the other player. That was too funny. And to clear things up, Bosa did get 2 sacks.
Okay, so, yeah. And one thing about Nick, I mean, I believe he has 3 sacks this year so far.
Yeah, he had one in Detroit.
Yeah, for a guy who is coming off the injury that he just had, I mean, it's been a year, but you really don't get your legs until your second year, or at least at the end of a year and a half after. I mean, for him to do what he's doing. I mean, that dude is a beast, man. He really is a beast. And he's not 100% in where his legs should be like it was in 2019, right? He's still kind of recovering from that injury. And to play the snaps that he's doing, man, he's a beast. He is a beast. He is a difference maker. He really is.
Without a doubt. We missed him dearly last year. We missed him big time last year. I mentioned special teams earlier, and we finally – I met Joey Mahoney in the chat. He's a big proponent of Brandon Ayuk as being the punt returner. He had one return for 13 yards. It wasn't like I forgot how it looked exactly. I don't know if you remembered, but good to see him finally get a decent return. 13 yards isn't bad. If he can do that consistently, hey, that will help out the offense a whole lot. Special teams is very underrated. A lot of people think special teams doesn't matter, but it definitely matters.
The battle, you win and lose games on the battle of field position. I mean, you win and lose games on that. I mean, that's basic football. I mean, you got to win the battle of field position. And that's why when Hurts dropped that 90-yard pass on Lenore, man, it was like, damn, we just had them backed up, and then they just get into our red zone like that. Within, I believe, the 5-yard line, whatever it was, man. But the defense said the bank is closed, man. I'm juiced, man. I'm pumped up right now. The bank is closed, baby.
Yeah, I was. Again, I mentioned the corners earlier, and I'm going to mention it again. Sure, there was a big play here and there, but in general, hats off to the corners and safeties, because we were getting challenged a lot with those deep throws, and they know about the injuries that we have. So, D'Amico Ryans, we're going to mention him again, man. He really, I didn't like what he did too much last week, but this week he looks like he's coming into his own, and that's very encouraging.
No, he has, and the defense played well. Now that last drive, I'm interested on what kind of defense we were playing. Now I got to go back and rewatch it, but they moved the ball within less than a minute to score that touchdown late in the fourth quarter. And I don't understand what kind of defense that was. I really don't I don't know what we were playing on that. I got to rewatch that. That's the one thing I didn't like and I didn't want to see. But overall, man, Ryan's deserves a lot of credit getting these guys ready, man. He does.
You're talking about the drive where Hurts kept running and then
Yeah,
Jimmy Ward tried to get him and then boom was a hit out of bounds. They gave him that
yeah,
penalty. Yeah, that was pretty weak.
yeah. There was
Yeah.
nobody on the flat. There was nobody on the outside. I mean, nothing. There was no spot. I mean, anybody. It was just. It's like we were in a prevent play back type of defense, and Hurts just ran all over us. I don't like that.
This is Horace, a good buddy of mine on Twitter, says, do you think we go after another running back to pick up because of death and injury issues, or we keep going as is? We just picked up two running backs, didn't we? On Johnson, and I'm not sure who
Yeah,
the other guy was. There was some guy
yeah,
that got a carry today who I didn't even know. I didn't recognize his name, number 49.
yeah, yeah. That was yeah. I don't know what we do with that. It depends on how hurt Sermon is as well. I mean, what's the status on him? I would like to pick up another one, but I mean, how many can you pick up?
Well, if it was up to Kyle, he'd probably have 20 running backs on the
Yeah,
roster.
yeah,
That Sermon play, I was so excited to finally see him in the game and get some playing time. Boom, he breaks off an 8-yard run, and then it looks like he might have fumbled it, but I guess it wasn't a fumble. Then he was on the ground forever, and I thought, whoa, is he
yeah,
paralyzed or something? I'm like, dang,
yeah,
man, I hate the fact that our players just go down so easily. But then when you saw the play, it wasn't one of those plays where, like, you know how Mostert just gets like an 8-yard run, and next thing you know, Mostert runs off the field, and then you find out he's out for the game. It doesn't even look like he got hurt. I mean, with Sermon, you could tell that was a pretty bad helmet-to-helmet shot, so anybody would have gotten hurt on that play. It was just
yeah,
really bad luck for Sermon to finally be out there and then get hurt.
yeah. And he's got an arm hidden, and then his head hit the ground afterwards. I mean, it was just a bad play for him. I hope he's okay. I was calling for him all game, and the one play, the one touch that he got is that happens. But I hope he's okay. And he hit that hole pretty hard, man. I mean, look, I think Sermon's going to be a player. I want to see more when he comes back healthy. I want to see more of him.
Pioneer from the chat says, thoughts on Eric Armstead. Did you want to answer that?
Um, where has he been? I mean, it's one of those things where I know he got rated last week as having some rushes, but I didn't see a good game from him last week, and he was non-existent pretty much this week. Um, I don't want to beat the dead horse, but we re-signed the wrong guy. Let Buckner go and sign in Armstead. But I mean, that's the cards that we have right now. That's the cards that's dealt.
But
But yeah, non-existent.
he did show up on one play that came to mind. I saw him show up on a couple plays actually. Nothing like bigger dominant or anything. But the one play that he stood out was I believe they tried to run that Philly special type play where they were going to throw it to
Yeah,
Hurts. Yeah,
yeah,
he had some good containment on that play. So I wish we'd have had good containment on other plays when Hurts was freaking running around. But it is what
and
it
and,
is, man.
Arms, and Armstead is just slow, man. He is
He
slow.
is.
There's times where you see him in the game where he gets in the backfield, and he's talented enough to get in the backfield. But when it's time to chase down a quarterback, let alone someone as fast as like Hurts, but even statue quarterbacks, he's just very slow to get there, man. And I mean, it is what it is with him, man.
Want to say what's up to Tommy Huxley? He says Zach Wilson is a bust. I heard he had a bad game today, and he said the Beagles choked. He means the Bengals. Tommy Huxley's really good professional guitarist. If you want to go on his channel, if you want to see him storm
Oh,
out some
okay.
guitar riffs, big Niner fan. He's very supportive of all the Niner channels. And
I'll
we
check him
got
out.
Royce says 2-0 feels good, baby. What's up, Royce?
Yeah.
We got Kenny says they need to run Elijah Mitchell on the outside. Hasty is more of an up the middle guy. Hasty's a small dude. You wouldn't think of him as an up the middle guy, but he is so shifty. The way he bounces around to those holes, he's perfect for the zone running scheme. And when we first got him, Grant Cohn put up a video. They'll get mad if I say Grant Cohn's name, everybody in the chat, if you guys hate him. But I always have to put that disclaimer about,
No, and
about
shout out to
Grant Cohn.
Grant,
Shout out to
man.
Grant.
Shout out to Grant. I love
But
Grant,
Grant
man.
had that film where he's like, hey, it was a side-by-side comparison of Jermichael Hasty and Marshawn Lynch. And you could just tell now Hasty's way smaller than Lynch. He's not going to run over people, but the way they have vision and the way they both bounce around in the holes and the way they shift around is very similar. And I liked Hasty a lot last year, and he's proven to be an asset to help us out. I love all our running backs, by the way. When I hear running backs on the 49ers, my eyes get big, and I just it feels good to talk about them because they're a big asset to the team without doubt.
See, the thing with that is, and I agree with that comment, but you got to mix it up too. It just seemed like Mitchell's not a every down grind horse type of back. Like you seen what was going on in the first half of that game. Wasn't getting no yards. I mean, look at his stat line. But when you started mixing it up, Hasty started coming in, Jimmy started making plays with his arm. They started opening up a little bit of holes, man. And you got to be able to mix it up. I was calling for Hasty to get in the game, calling for Sherman to get in the game early on, just to mix it up, give it a different look. And I like Mitchell. I like Mitchell a lot.
I like Mitchell a lot too. I just don't want to see them give him the rock 25 carries a game and
Exactly.
then have him get hurt. We have all these other running backs. Why not mix it up?
He's not Frank Gore. He's not your bell horse. But if you have multiple running backs, which the 49ers do have, mix it up, give different looks, and he will be successful.
He does have some power though for a smaller running back though. I don't know who it was, but he ran some run up the middle, and boom, the DB went backwards. I was like, I like seeing that a lot. Mm-hmm. And who we have? Oh, there's another guy in the chat. It says the Niner you love to hate. Oh, this guy brought it up. This guy does not like Jimmy. Just to let you guys know. Hey. The Niner you love to hate 510. What? Grew up in the East Bay just like me. Just thoughts on Garoppolo. We touched on it earlier. Did you want to touch on it again? 49erTone?
Yeah. I mean, he had a shaky game starting, and then he settled down. I mean, Jimmy, you would say he had a good game. At least a decent game at the very least. Started off very shaky, very erratic. I mean, the throws were just, it was very frustrating early on, but the whole offense looked out of sync. And, you have to be able to weather the storm, and the 49ers did. They made the adjustments, and you've seen those 90-plus yard drives, multiple 90-plus yard drives. How many times have you seen teams go 90-plus yards like that? Let alone multiple times.
Did we do it twice today? I thought it was only one time.
Oh yeah, really? The first one was at the end of the half, and that set the tone for the rest of the game. And the second one took off 9 minutes off the clock from the third quarter to the fourth.
That 9-minute one, that was crazy. That 9-minute one was crazy.
I was actually surprised we didn't see Trey at all. That was very interesting. That was interesting.
It surprised me too. And I touched on Jimmy earlier. Okay, so we're 2 weeks in now. He hasn't thrown an interception yet, so I'm going to mention the good and the bad. He looked a lot better last week than he did this week, in my opinion. And with this week, what I was saying earlier was when we got guys like Kittle, Ayuk, Sherfield, Debo's been getting work now, but I just think that we have all these guys. We have weapons now. For years, we didn't have weapons so we gotta challenge the other team and scare them, put fear in their hearts. Launch the ball downfield. If Jimmy's not throwing the ball downfield, why not throw Trey in there from time to time and put some scare in the other team? So that's my thing. It's, with Jimmy, he does that dink and dunk stuff a lot where he's comfortable, but from time to time, I just wish he was a little bit more aggressive. Now, last week he was. I don't know why he wasn't doing it this week. Philly's a hostile environment. They got a great D line. I'm sure their defense is better than the Eagles. No, than the Lions though. Eagles, on average, will always have a better defense than the Lions.
That defensive line made the difference for the Eagles. Like that dictated what our offense was going to do early on in the game. But also with Jimmy, with the bad is he can't hit an out route to save his life. I mean, you got wide open receivers on the outside of that field, and he's just misfiring. Like I said, very erratic throws. Now, when he's throwing in the middle of the field, it's money. I mean, he hit Debo between two defenders. He hit him right in the middle, and Debo was able to catch that pass and get some yardage on that. But, for the most part, I can't rip on Jimmy. We got the win, man. I wanted to see Trey a little bit just to see if we were going to, instead of him coming in the game and just running like last week, maybe he can throw more passes. But, Cal stuck with Jimmy the whole game. And, look, we got the win, man.
Yeah, we definitely got the win. As far as Trey being in the game, it probably would have helped us a bit, too, on the ground game. I was mentioning this earlier. Just kind of mentioning it again for those who weren't here. Just for the fact that teams have to account for him in the run game. and I just
Yeah.
think it would open the holes up a bit more.
Yeah, that
But
game plan from last week might have worked better this week, with Trey coming in and just doing the runs, but I mean, hey, he stuck with Jimmy, and Jimmy calmed down and settled in. Offense got in sync. They're moving the ball, and props to Jimmy also for the 4-and-4 on the
he had some good QB sneaks. His QB sneaks were good.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
that's one
I'll
thing he
take
learned
that.
from Tom Brady.
I'll take that.
I wish he learned a bit more from Brady, but that was one thing that he picked up from him. I think, yeah, and that's also because of Alex Mack too. I just thought
Yep.
glad he had a good game against his stout D line featuring Fletcher Cox, possibly the second
Yeah.
best D tackle in the league.
Yeah.
Let me just read a couple of things more in the chat, and we're gonna wrap things up in a second. So, local 49er fan says maybe we'll see Kittle or Ayuk more next week since Green Bay could focus more on Debo. Yeah, we're gonna see what's up with that. Let me see what this guy said. Said if you need the backup to come in and pass, what does that say about our quarterback?
No, he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. But what I'm kind of saying with that is one, the experience, the snaps for Trey, especially being on the road, that will pay dividends for him in the future. But he's absolutely right on that. We're talking about a backup quarterback, and you see, look, I got my Trey on. I'm a Trey
Oh,
Lance
you
guy.
got your trade jersey. I didn't notice it. Okay.
But he's right though. If we're talking about a backup quarterback, do we really have a quarterback? But I'm not gonna rip on Jimmy. I'm not gonna come on here and rip on Jimmy. He's 2-0, and he made the throws when we needed to. I mean, we talked about the bad. We could talk about the good as well. I mean, he made throws too. Give him credit.
Without a doubt. So let me see. Royce says we still don't use Juice the right way. It's frustrating.
No.
We pay him all that money, and he barely gets any touches or opportunities.
We haven't used Juice correctly since he's been with the 49ers, and I'm glad we re-signed him and kept him. I love him, but no, we haven't used him at all. Remember when the Buccaneers used to use Mike Allstott?
Oh yeah, they used him a whole lot.
Yeah, we don't use Juice at all like that. We don't. Shoot, I would love to use Juice like we did William Floyd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
We don't even like he's there to block pretty much. I mean, he's a threat catching the ball. He's a threat on short down yardage, running the ball up the middle. I mean, we don't use him like we should.
Yeah, hey, William Floyd was tons of fun to watch too. I mean, yeah, and William Floyd didn't get the run as far as the carries and the handoffs that Allstott got, but his role was the exact way I want a West Coast offense fullback to be used. And if you go back and watch those old school Niner games from '94, man,
and
94
and
William Floyd was
too.
special.
And
Beasley was good. Beasley was good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As long as he's not Zach Keesley, right?
Zach, oh man, you really poor Zach. Oh man, Zach Keesley.
Yeah.
I remember that dude with those long ass dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Luke Luna says Jimmy G 22 for 30, and Jimmy is elite at the sneak. Yeah, he's good. He's good at the sneak, man. I don't know why. Yeah. You look at him, you don't think he. I don't know. He just doesn't come across as this tough, gritty guy, but for whatever reason, he's great at the QB sneak.
It's because he has the reputation. He has the reputation of always being hurt. But people have to know the difference. There's a difference between being tough and there's a difference between being injury prone. And there's a difference. Jimmy's injury prone, and hopefully he doesn't get hurt this year so far. Knock on wood. But I never question Jimmy's toughness. The guy's tough. Period.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we're going on to play the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be the home opener. You're going to be there. You're the 49er season ticket holder of the conversation. I know you're excited. You're pumped. And now here comes my lighting.
Oh, I can't wait, man. If anybody's going, let me know. Hit me up. I'll be in a blue lot with Niner Charles and be in the green lot in a little bit.
You can be there with McCarver?
Yeah.
McCarver?
Oh, yeah. So we're going to be there, man. But if anybody's going, hit me up. Let me know, man. We'll kick it in the parking lot.
Yeah, so hopefully we win our home opener. That'll be nice, and in a more convincing fashion, and we get more work out of guys like Ayuk and Sherfield and Kittle, and it's just gonna be a fun game to watch. With that said, we're gonna wrap things up, guys. Again, 49erTone. It's the second time I had you on. You're a great friend to me. I love you. Love your dad. You guys are awesome people. I love talking Niners with you. It's always a fun conversation. So I just totally happy that you came on. I know I hit you up last minute. I'm like a last minute spur of the moment kind of guy, you know. So, you know, having you on it was a true definitely a pleasure, man. I just want to say that before we go.
Absolutely, man. You know I love you too, man. And about to go in and head with the fam and chill, watch the rest of football, man. But I'm glad to be on, man. Anytime I have a chance to get on, you know I'm down. And if it permits for next week, maybe I can get on real quick with you from the parking lot.
Why not? If we could do it, why not? All right, so just want to say shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys being on here. You guys are awesome. You guys had great questions and great comments. Yeah. If I missed a question here and there, it's my bad. It's just we just have to keep the conversation going. So I can't get to everybody, but I tried my best. But with that said, guys, 2-0. 2-0. Let's be 3-0. Let's make it 3-0.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
So with that said, guys, keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Peace. Come on, 49er faithful, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick done quick.
49er mind.
Yeah, yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49er mind.